What would you do if you discovered that the innocent housemaid you pitied and brought into your home was actually a wolf in sheep's clothing, sent to destroy everything you love? Once upon a time, in the bustling city of Lagos, there lived a couple called Chief Emeka and his wife Ada. They were the kind of couple that made other people jealous. Chief Emeka was a big man in the business world. He owned shops, he had connections, and his pocket was so heavy that money was practically falling out of his trousers. Ada was a senior banker who wore heels so high that she could touch the ceiling, and her makeup was always so perfect that even her enemies had to admit she was fine. They lived in a mansion in Lekki, the kind of house that had a gate opened by remote control, a generator that was bigger than some people's sitting room, and marble floors so shiny you could see your village ancestors reflecting back at you. Their neighbors called them the power couple, and whenever they drove past in their matching Range Rovers, people would stop and stare like they were watching a Nollywood movie. But you know what our people say? The lizard that fell from the Iroko tree said if nobody would praise him, he would praise himself. But he didn't know that the fall would soon crack his head. One Saturday afternoon, Chief Emeka came home with a small skinny girl who looked like suffering and poverty has used her body to play football. Her name was Chidema, but she told them to call her Didi. This girl was so thin that if she turned sideways, she would disappear. Her clothes were so faded that you couldn't tell what color they used to be, and she was carrying a bag that looked like it had witnessed both world wars. Ada, my beautiful wife, Chief Emeka said with a big smile that showed his gold teeth. This is Didi. She's from my village. Her parents died. The poor child has nobody, and I found her begging on the street. Can we keep her as a housemaid? We can afford it, and it's our Christian duty to help the least privileged. Ada looked at the small girl, and her heart melted faster than ice cream. The girl looked so helpless, so pitiful, so innocent that even a stone would feel sorry for her. Of course, my husband, Ada said, already imagining how people would praise her for being so kind and charitable. Welcome to our home, Didi. You're safe now. Didi fell to her knees right there on the expensive marble floors and started crying and thanking them. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma. God will bless you. Your children will be great. You will never see poverty. Thunder will fire your enemies. She was crying so much that her tears were already forming a small pond on the floor. Ada had to even bring tissues to clean her face. But if Ada had looked very, very closely into Didi's eyes at that exact moment, she would have seen something hiding behind those tears. Something cold and wicked. Something that was planning the kind of wahala that would even make Satan himself say, this one is too much. For the first 3 weeks, Didi was like an angel that fell from heaven and decided to work as a housemaid. She would wake up at 4:30 a.m., even before the mosquitoes woke up and started working. By the time Ada and Chief Emeka woke up at 7 a.m., the whole house would be sparkling clean like a new bride's ring. The compound would be swept, so clean that you could lick the floor. Their clothes would be washed, ironed and arranged so neatly that even a military general would salute. And her cooking? Chai, that girl could cook. Her jollof rice was so sweet that Chief Emeka would eat 3 plates and still be looking for more. Her egusi soup was so delicious that Ada started gaining weight. Even the pepper soup she made was so peppery sweet that it could wake up a dead person. Ada, I'm telling you, Chief Emeka would say every evening, rubbing his belly full like a satisfied Buddha, this girl is a blessing. God sent her to us. We must increase her salary. Ada agreed completely. She even started bragging to her friends at work. My housemaid is not like your housemaid, so mine is respectful, hardworking, and she doesn't steal. I'm so blessed. Her friend Ngozi warned her, Ada, be careful. When something looks too good to be true, it's probably planning something. But Ada just laughed. You people are just jealous. Not every good thing is evil, Jare. How wrong she was. How terribly, terribly wrong. It started small. Very small. Like how a small crack in the wall becomes a big hole that swallows the whole house. One Tuesday morning, Chief Emeka was preparing for the biggest business meeting of his life. He was going to meet some Indian investors who wanted to invest millions of naira into his business. He needed to look sharp, to look successful, to look like the big man he was. Ada! Ada! He shouted from the bedroom. Where is my navy blue suit? The one I wear for very important meetings. Ada ran into the room confused. It should be in your wardrobe, my husband. I saw it there yesterday. They searched. They scattered the whole wardrobe. No suit. Chief Emeka was sweating now, not because of the heat. That suit cost me 450,000. It's imported from Italy. Where is it? Finally, they found it. Can you guess where? In the bathroom, on the floor, soaked in toilet water. Chief Emeka's face turned red like fresh tomatoes. What is this? Who did this? Ada's mouth was wide open, enough to swallow a football. I don't know. I swear on my mother's grave, I don't know how it got here. That was when Didi appeared, looking innocent like a newborn baby who has never heard of wickedness. Madam, I'm so sorry to talk, but I saw you go into the bathroom with this suit this morning. I thought you wanted to wash it specially. What? I never took any suit to the bathroom. Are you mad? But ma, I saw you with my 2 eyes. Didi said quietly, looking down like she was ashamed to expose Ada. I was cleaning the sitting room. I saw you. Chief Emeka looked at his wife with suspicion growing in his eyes like mold on an old bread. Ada, have you been drinking? Why would you take my most expensive suit to soak in toilet water? I didn't do it! Ada screamed so loud that the neighbors probably heard. Then how did it get here? Chief Emeka was also shouting now. Did it walk there by itself? Does the suit have legs? The argument was hot, so hot that it could roast a chicken. Chief Emeka had to wear another suit to the meeting, and he was so angry and distracted that he almost lost the deal. All through the day, Ada couldn't concentrate at work because she kept wondering how did the suit really get to the bathroom. But that was just the beginning. Oh, it was just the small introduction to the wahala that was coming. The next week, Chief Emeka's mother, Mama Nkechi, came to visit. Now this woman was the kind of mother-in-law that could start another world war with her mouth. She was always criticizing Ada, always comparing her to other wives, always finding fault. Ah, Ada. She said, looking Ada up and down like she was inspecting spoiled fish. You've added weight too. Are you pregnant or are you just eating your husband's money and not working? Ada forced a smile that was more painful than menstrual cramps. Good afternoon, Mama. I'm just healthy. Healthy? You mean fat? My son needs a wife who can take care of her body, not one who is eating like a goat that saw grass after famine. Ada wanted to reply with some hot words, but she kept quiet. Respect for elders, even wicked ones, was important. Mama Nkechi was going to stay for 1 week. Ada prepared the best guest room, cleaned it until it was shining, and even put fresh flowers there. She wanted Mama to have no reason to complain. But on the 3rd day of Mama's visit, wahala happened. Mama Nkechi woke up in the middle of the night, screaming like someone who saw a masquerade in her bedroom. Emeka! Emeka, come and see! Come and see what your wife has done to me! Everyone rushed to her room. When they got there, Mama Nkechi was standing on the bed, shaking and pointing to the floor. On the floor, scattered everywhere were live cockroaches, not 1 or 2. At least 20 fat cockroaches were running around like they were having a party. Ada! You brought cockroaches to my room! You want to kill me, you wicked woman! What? No, Mama. I cleaned this room myself. There were no cockroaches. Liar! You are a liar. You did this on purpose because you don't like me. You don't want me in my son's house. Chief Emeka was standing there, confused and angry. Ada, what's the meaning of this? Why would my mother be sleeping in a room full of cockroaches in my own house? But there are no cockroaches in this house now. I didn't put any cockroaches there. Ada was almost crying now. Didi appeared in her nightgown, rubbing her eyes like she just woke up. Ah, madam, but I saw you going into Mama's room this evening with a small bag. I thought you were putting something nice for her. Everyone turned to look at Ada. That's a lie. I never went to Mama's room with any bag. Are you calling me a liar? Didi asked, tears starting to form in her eyes. Why, Ma? What did I do to you? Why do you hate me? This girl should have won an Oscar. Her acting was better than Genevieve Naji. Mama Nkechi pointed her finger at Ada like she was casting a curse. I knew it. I knew this woman was evil. Emeka, this is the woman you married. A woman who puts insects in her mother-in-law's room. In my village, such a woman should be sent back to her father's house with disgrace. Mama, I didn't. Ada tried to explain, but nobody was listening. That night, Mama Nkechi packed her bags and left the house at 11 p.m., declaring that she would never step foot in a house of witchcraft again. She left shouting curses and prophecies of doom. Chief Emeka didn't talk to Ada for 3 days. 3 whole days of silent treatment that was colder than the freezer. And through it all, Didi was there, walking quietly, looking innocent and watching her plans work out perfectly. 2 weeks later, Ada discovered that 500,000 naira was missing from their joint account. 500,000 naira just gone. She checked the statement at the bank. The money had been withdrawn in cash. Emeka, did you withdraw 500,000 naira from our account? Emeka looked up from his newspaper. No. Why? It's missing. Someone withdrew it. They checked the CCTV footage from the bank, and there, as clear as day, was someone wearing Ada's favorite dress, Ada's sunglasses and Ada's handbag withdrawing the money. But the person's face was not clear because of the angle of that camera and the large sunglasses. Ada, what is this? Chief Emeka's voice was quiet, which was more dangerous than shouting. You withdrew our money and you are pretending it was stolen? That's not me. I swear on my life, that's not me. Then who is it? Your ghost? The dress is yours, the bag is yours, even the way she walks looks like you. They called Didi to ask if she saw anything suspicious. The girl looked thoughtful, then slowly said, Madam, I don't want to cause trouble, but I saw you leaving the house that morning wearing the exact dress and carrying that bag. You said you were going to the bank. Ada felt like the ground was opening to swallow her. I went to work. I wore my work clothes and I never went to any bank. But madam, I saw you changing clothes before you left. You came back after 2 hours and changed again. She's lying. Can't you see? She's lying. Someone is setting me up. But if Emeka had had enough, the evidence was piling up. First the suit, then the cockroaches. Now 500,000 naira missing. He was beginning to think his wife was either going crazy or becoming a criminal. Ada, I think you need to see a doctor. Maybe you're stressed and doing things without remembering. Or maybe, he paused, his voice turning cold. Maybe you're stealing from our family account. That night, Ada cried herself to sleep. Her marriage was falling apart and she didn't know how to stop it. The situation got worse when Chief Emeka's business partners came to the house for a meeting. These were big men who wore watches that cost more than some people's houses, men whose cars had drivers, men who could make or break Chief Emeka's business with one phone call. Ada wanted everything to be perfect. She told Didi to prepare a special meal, jollof rice, fried rice, chicken, goat meat, salad, everything. She even brought out their finest plates and glasses. The meeting was going well. The men were eating, drinking and talking business. Ada was feeling proud. Maybe things were finally getting better. Then disaster struck. One of the men, Chief Okafor, the most important one, suddenly stood up from his chair. His face was twisted in shock and disgust. What is this? He asked, looking down. Everyone was shocked. Chief Okafor's expensive white kaftan was stained with a big red palm oil stain. It looked like someone had poured a whole bottle of oil on him. But that was not the worst part. Attached to his back, with what looked like super glue, was a handwritten note that said, Olodo, you cannot do business. You're just a big man with small sense. The room went silent. You could hear everyone's heartbeat. Chief Okafor slowly removed the note from his back. He read it again. His face was getting redder and redder, like a volcano about to explode. Emeka, he said quietly, dangerously quietly, did your household just insult me in your own house? Chief Emeka was sweating like someone running a marathon. Sir, I don't understand. You didn't what? You didn't insult me? Then who wrote this? Who poured oil? on my 800,000 naira kaftan. Ada ran in from the kitchen where she had gone to get more drinks. When she saw what happened, she nearly fainted. "Sir, I'm so sorry. I don't know how your wife doesn't know." Chief Okafor was now shouting, "In your own house, in your own dining room, someone insults me and you don't know. What kind of home is this?" The other businessmen were already standing up, preparing to leave. The meeting was ruined and the deal was dead. As they were leaving, Didi came out from the kitchen, her eyes wide with shock. "Ah, madam, what happened? Are the visitors leaving? Did you and Sal quarrel with them?" "Get out of my sight!" Ada screamed at her. After the men left, Chief Emeka turned to his wife. His eyes were cold enough to freeze water. "Ada, you've disgraced me. You have destroyed my biggest business deal. That deal was worth 50 million naira. 50 million naira and you ruined it. I didn't do anything now. Someone set this up." "Who? Who set it up? Are you saying ghosts live in my house? Maybe it's the furniture that poured oil and wrote insults." They had their biggest fights ever. It was a kind of fight where plates were flying, doors were slamming, and words were said that could never be taken back. "Maybe I should have married Chioma," Chief Emeka shouted. "At least she had sense." "Then go and marry her. Divorce me. I'm tired of being blamed for things that I didn't do." "Yes, maybe I will divorce you. That way, I won't have a crazy wife who sabotages my life." That night, Chief Emeka packed a bag and went to stay at his friend's house. The neighbors heard everything and began to gossip. "Did you hear? Power couple is fighting now. I heard the wife is going crazy. Someone said she's a witch, that they say she's been stealing money." Ada's reputation was in the gutter, lower than the drainage in Oshodi. Ada sat in her empty house crying, but then something happened. Her sadness turned into anger. Her tears dried up and her eyes became sharp like a woman who has had enough. "Something is very wrong in this house," she said to herself, "and I'm going to find out what." She started observing Didi carefully, very carefully. She noticed small things, how Didi would smile slightly when wahala happened, how she was always around when things went wrong, how her innocent face would sleep just for 1 second when she thought nobody was watching. Ada also noticed something else. Didi had a small box under her bed that she never let anyone touch. She would lock it with a padlock every time she left her room. One day, when Didi went to the market and Chief Emeka was at work, Ada decided to investigate. She found a spare key that fits the padlock. She had tried many keys until one worked. Inside the box, Ada found many things that made her blood run cold. Chief Emeka's missing documents, Ada's missing jewelries, the spare bank card that was used to withdraw the 500,000 naira, a bag of live cockroaches, probably for future use, multiple bottles of palm oil, and the most shocking of all, a photograph. The photograph showed a younger Chief Emeka, probably 18. He was in the photo with another woman, a young woman, and they were both smiling. Written on the back of the photograph was Emeka and Ngozi, 2006. Our baby is coming. Ada's hand started shaking like a Nokia phone vibrating. 2006 was 2 years before she married Chief Emeka. If that woman was pregnant in 2006, that baby would be about 17 years old now, the same age as Didi. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Ada whispered. She quickly took photos of everything with her phone, then carefully put everything back and locked the box. Her mind was working faster than Dangote counting his money. This was not random wickedness. This was planned. This was revenge. But for what? That evening, Ada called her friend Blessing. She was from the same village as her husband. "Blessing, I need you to investigate someone for me. Her name is Chidinma. She claims to be from my husband's village, but I think she's lying. Send me all the details. Just give me 48 hours. Those 48 hours felt like 48 years. Ada had to continue acting normal while living with an enemy under her roof. Finally, Blessing called back. "Ada, you better sit down. What I found is heavier than a truck full of cement." "Just tell me now." "That girl, Didi, your new housemaid, her full name is Chidinma Okafor. Her mother's name was Ngozi Okafor, and Ngozi was your husband's girlfriend before he met you. Ada already suspected this, but hearing it confirmed made her heart race. Blessing continued. Ngozi got pregnant for your husband in 2006. When she told him, he denied it. He said the baby was not his. He gave her 50,000 naira and told her to handle it. He said he was too young for children and that she was trying to trap him. That wicked man, Ada gasped. Wait, there's more. Ngozi had the baby, Chidinma. She struggled alone to raise her. Ada, when I say struggled, I mean suffered. They suffered. They lived alone in a small room in Ajegunle. Some days they didn't eat. Ngozi worked 3 jobs as a cleaner, a nanny, and she sold akara at night. All the while, your husband was here enjoying life. Ada felt tears coming, not for herself, but for that woman and child who suffered while her husband lived in luxury. Last year, Ngozi fell sick. Cancer. She needed surgery, but there was no money. She sent people to beg your husband for help. He told them he didn't know any Ngozi, that they should stop disturbing him with fake stories. Oh my God. Ngozi died 3 months later in the general hospital. No treatment, no surgery, nothing. And before she died, she told Chidinma everything. She told her about the rich man who abandoned them, who let them suffer, who refused to help even when she was dying. So I think that was what happened. Now everything made sense to Ada. This small girl was not just wicked. She was a wounded lion cub seeking revenge for her dead mother. Chidinma spent months planning. Blessing continued. She investigated your husband, found out where he lived, everything about his life. Then he appeared at his shop looking like a helpless orphan from the village, and he bought the story. He brought his own daughter, his own flesh and blood, into his house as a maid, not knowing she came to destroy everything he loved. Ada sat there, her phone pressed to her ear, her mind spinning like a washing machine. That evening, Ada decided it was time for the truth to explode like fireworks, but she wanted to do it in style. She wanted Chief Emeka to see exactly what he had created with his wickedness. She called Chief Emeka. My husband, please come home. We need to have an important family meeting. It's very urgent. Chief Emeka came home, still angry and cold. What is it? I'm busy. Sit down. Didi, you too. Come and sit. Didi came out of the kitchen looking confused. Yes, madam. I said sit down. Ada's voice was so commanding that even a soldier would obey. They all sat down in the sitting room. The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. Ada looked at her husband. Emeka, do you remember a woman called Ngozi Okafor? Chief Emeka's face changed color so fast. Why are you asking? Answer the question. Do you remember Ngozi Okafor? We dated many years ago, before I met you. And did she get pregnant? Chief Emeka was sweating now. He looked at Didi, then at Ada, then back at Didi. You could see his brain starting to put 2 and 2 together. Ada, why? You answer me. Did she get pregnant? She said she was pregnant, but I didn't believe her. I thought she was lying to trap me. You knew she was pregnant. Ada stood up, her voice rising. You knew and you abandoned her. You gave her money to get rid of it, like the baby was a disease, and you told her to leave you alone. I was young, I was scared, I wasn't ready, so you let her suffer? Ada was shouting now, tears streaming down her face. You let a woman and your child suffer in poverty while you were here living like a king. Do you know what happened to Ngozi? What? What happened? She's dead. She died last year. Cancer. She couldn't afford treatment. And she sent people to beg you for help. And you said you don't know her. Your own child's mother died because you refused to help. Chief Emeka's face turned white like paper. He looked like he was going to faint. Ada turned to Didi. And you, Chidinma, should I call you by your real name now? The room went completely silent. Chidinma slowly raised her head. The innocent look was gone. In its place was something hard, something cold, something that had been shaped by years of pain and anger. Yes, she said quietly, call me by my real name. I'm tired of pretending. She stood up and looked directly at Chief Emeka. Do you know who I am? Chief Emeka was shaking. I'm your daughter, Chidinma screamed, and her voice was filled with so much pain that even the walls seemed to shake. I'm the baby you said that wasn't yours. I'm the child you threw away like garbage. I'm the daughter who watched her mother die begging for your help. Chief Emeka fell from his chairs to his knees. No, I didn't know. You didn't want to know. We suffered. Do you understand? We ate once a day. Sometimes we didn't eat at all. My mother wore the same clothes for years. We lived in one room. That was so small that I could touch both walls with my hands. We couldn't afford school fees. We couldn't afford medicine. We couldn't afford anything. She was screaming now, releasing 17 years of anger. And all that time, you were here, living in this big house, driving big cars, eating big food, wearing expensive clothes. You had everything. And we had nothing. I'm sorry. Chief Emeka was also crying. His face was wet with tears and snorts. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were suffering. You thought what? That poverty is sweet? That suffering is enjoyable? My mother died calling your name. She died asking why you abandoned us. She died hoping you would come, but you never came. The confrontation was so intense that even Ada was crying. The pain in that room was thick enough to touch. So yes, Chidinma continued, her voice breaking. I came here to destroy you. I came here to make you feel pain the way you made us feel pain. I wanted to destroy your perfect life, your perfect marriage, and your perfect everything. I wanted you to lose something precious the way I lost my mother. She fell to her knees, sobbing. But now I'm just tired. This revenge didn't make me feel better. It just made me feel empty because my mother is still dead. Our suffering doesn't go away. And I realize I've just become like you, wicked, heartless, and cruel. Chief Emeka crawled on his knees to his daughter. Chidinma, my daughter, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was wrong. I was wicked. I was a coward. Your mother was a good woman and I treated her like trash. My dear, I have no excuse. I deserve all your anger. I deserve all your hate. But please, let me try to make things right. Even though I know I can never truly make up for what I did. For a long time, nobody spoke. The only sound was crying. Finally, Chidinma said quietly, I can't forgive you. Not today. Maybe not ever. But I'm tired of carrying this hate. It's too heavy. And my mother would not want me to destroy myself with revenge. She was a good woman. And she taught me to be better than this. Ada, who had been watching silently, finally spoke. Chidinma, what your father did is unforgivable. But I need you to know something. I didn't know any of this. If I had known, I would have found you myself. I would have helped you. You are innocent in all of this. Chidinma looked at Ada with tears in her eyes. I know. I'm sorry for what I did to you. You didn't deserve it. My fight was with him, not you. But I wanted to hurt him through his marriage. The same way he hurt my mother. What happened next was not a pretty or perfect or neat ending like Nollywood movie. Chief Emeka did a DNA test, even though it was unnecessary because you could see the resemblance in their faces. The test confirmed that Chidinma was 99.99% his biological daughter. He gathered his family, his brothers, his cousins, even his mother, Mama Nkechi, and confessed everything in front of them. Mama Nkechi fainted when she heard that she had a grandchild she never knew about. The family was shocked and disappointed, and some were even disgusted with Chief Emeka. He publicly acknowledged Chidinma as his daughter. He enrolled her into a good private university. He set up a trust fund for her. He built a proper memorial for Ngozi and held a big funeral to honor her memory. But it wasn't smooth. There were days when Chidinma couldn't even look at Chief Emeka without feeling sick. There were days when she packed her bags to leave. There were days when Chief Emeka would cry, knowing he could never undo the past. Ada and Chief Emeka's marriage survived, but it changed. Ada now knew her husband was capable of terrible things. She loved him, but she also saw him differently. The trust was cracked, and the cracks never fully healed. As for Chidinma and Ada, they developed an unexpected bond. Ada became like an older sister to her, teaching her, guiding her, and showing her that not all wealthy people are heartless. The neighborhood gossip eventually learned the full story, and the shame fell heavily on Chief Emeka. Some of his friends distanced themselves from him. Some business partners questioned his character. His reputation was damaged forever. But slowly, very slowly, the family began to heal. Not because they forgot the past, but because they chose to face it together. Chidinma graduated from the university with honors. She became a social worker, helping other single mothers and abandoned children. She turned her pain to purpose. Chief Emeka never stopped apologizing, never stopped trying to make amends, but he also learned that some things cannot be fixed, they can only be lived with. And Ada, she became wiser, more careful, and more compassionate. She learned that everybody has a story, even the people who seem wicked. The moral lesson of this story reminds us what our people say. The child you abandon today will come back tomorrow to ask you why. Your past will find you. The people you hurt will not disappear just because you ignore them. The children you refused will grow up and remember. The wrong you did will return home one day. Maybe not on your timetable, but they will return. If you wrong people, especially those who depend on you, be ready for that wrong to knock on your door one day. And when it knocks, it won't come quietly. It will come with full force of all the pain and suffering that you caused. Take responsibilities for your actions now while you still can. Face your past before your past faces you. Make amends before it is too late. Because when the child you abandoned shows up at your door 17 years later, they won't be coming to hug you. They will be coming to remind you of every single day that you were not there.